And hello, my fellow learners. Thank you for an interesting week of hard work. I've been enjoying reading your entries and seeing your progress. I'd like to introduce the session for this new module that we're entering into, module number 3 of the first unit. And I also would like to express some of my concerns that I have at this point in terms of what I can see from my side of the screen, and just trying to get the energy flowing in the right direction for this third module. As we normally do, we're going to be I'm asking you to first explore the learning objectives, and I want to once more stress that it is important to read this carefully so that you understand what it is that we're trying to accomplish during the week. It normally helps focus attention and make sense of some of the materials that I'm presenting to you. Some of the difficulties with the online mode that we're using is that, or modality that we're using, is that what might seem to me perfectly logical and understandable, well, I know better, and I do understand that it might not be as logical and understandable to you. So my only way to have a sense of the temperature in the room, which I normally do in the classroom by looking at you, and I can't do that with the online, is by making sure that we're following the steps and just being alert to your messages and hopefully to your participation in my virtual and real office hours. So this is, I would think, a really interesting module because we're going to move into an aspect of the digital realm that I'm not sure that I've given too much thought of in the past, and you probably haven't either. Maybe you have. And it's the consideration of what does the digital world does to the issue of diversity. How well is this a space endowed to deal with diversity, and how diverse is this space? And I think that if you are like me, just getting into a deeper conversation on this issue, you will find surprises, and there will be some elements in the reading and the exercise that will be thought-provoking for you, and certainly it has been that for me. So we will explore the idea of diversity or lack of diversity in the arena of the digital. And we're going to be reading and learning some specific examples as to how people frame this issue of diversity. One of the key central elements for this module will be for us to grapple with the sense that there are ideas and ideals behind the framing of our human interactions that have been very much so crafted and then represented in many different ways to us by those that are taking the lead in terms of creating these spaces. So what is the overarching goal of a digital space? What is the idealistic model of what's a vibrant, proper digital arena? And those big questions are there, and people have been grappling with these questions, and it is time for us to grapple with these questions. And I think it's fundamentally important for us to grapple with these questions because you and I were going to embark in a little exploration this semester on an aspect of this vast new realm of the digital, and I think it is important that we go there with the right tools, and by that I mean the right conceptual tools. So bear with me, hold your horses. Let's extend a little bit more this initial conversation of what is critical and central in the arena of the digital, and then we will better prepare to ask certain questions and prove certain hypotheses, which is what I'm going to be asking you to do throughout the semester. Not a lot, but even if it is one hypothesis, but I would like for you to be able to test it. And you know this because you've taken methods courses, or you're listening some of us talking about the importance of framing the question in the right sort of setting of the conversation. And in social sciences, that means that we have been exploring um, conceptually where are we and where do we need to be. So issues of cultural imperialism, globalization, diversity, those are big concepts that we need to dig deeper into and to see, because you have already done it in other contexts. Let's see what does that mean in the digital realm. And then once we're charged with this conversation and these critical concepts, we are going to get started with the shaping and the definition of those research problems and specific hypotheses that I'm going to be expecting from you pretty soon to be delineated as we move along the semester. So let's we're going to be exploring those learning objectives, and I want you to please read these, take notes, and just think these issues through. And I will see whether or not that reflection is reflected in your reflection is demonstrated in your reflections when you're writing to the forums, right? I'm posting my lecture in a few minutes. It's not posted on this screen just yet, but in this lecture, I'm going to be exploring basically this idea of the digital words as it has been proposed to us in our textbook. Insofar as discovery, I have selected 3 clips that I'm hoping you will actually, I was going to say begging, but I shouldn't be begging you, right? I want you to make the time to watch them on its entirety. 2 of those clips are, you're going to see how they're dated. You're going to see faces and computers and elements in those screens that seem to be from other ages. It's probably 10 or 15 years old, but in the digital realm, time runs differently, apparently. But nevertheless, I think these 2 initial pieces, one is the BBC documentary, it's called Codebreakers. It really brings in how diversity exploded early in as the digital world started becoming a normal happenstance in many different parts of the planet, and how that has been embraced and transformed by different and in different cultures. One of the key concepts that we have seen in the past has been how the digital is not so much framing how we think and how we do, but we are using the digital and modeling the digital so that we can continue doing the things that we as humans do, and that's the nature of it. I also want to introduce to your attention Richard Stallman, which to me I'm just introducing him to your attention as member of a tribe, a digital tribe that is quite interesting and remarkable as the visionaries of what the digital realm should be or should not be. And I'm not asking you to be in agreement with him, but I'm definitely interested in you being aware of this really strong group of people that are very, very much so present from the very inception of the digital world of networks, which is a fairly recent invention, and just to get a sense of what they are. It's a typical California tribe in many respects, although it doesn't mean they all live in California, but it's definitely something that has happened in very near from where we live, and that should also give us a sense of what we need to think in terms of where are we geographically located, and our responsibility to be part of that conversation as to what the digital should be or can be. In cooperative learning, I have prepared a really important exercise that I want you all to do well. I want you to be mindful of the fact that this is a time-sensitive exercise. You need to post an initial statement. You need to record yourselves with your phones as you've done for the introduction, and then you need to post so that we can react to your posting. But for this conversation to be sensible, substantial, and interesting and relevant and make sense to all of us, we need to partake in a coordinated manner. So mind your time, and take a careful look at the dates and times that I'm presenting on the descriptions, so that we can explore these deeper connections that I'm expecting from all of you. And then last but not least, please do not forget to give me some feedback, because I'm using it to improve on this course. This is the first iteration of the course, and of course I will try to fix the things that are not working for you for the next few modules. But you're always being kind with the species of students for the future semesters, as I will be able to improve on my teaching and on my arrangement of information. All right, so that's what I have for you for this module 3, diversity in the network. And I hope you enjoy, and I hope you have enjoyed the reading. And that connects to my basic trepidation, my basic concern. It is that I'm painfully aware that not all of you do have the books already. And I do understand, and sometimes it's not that easy to get them. But let's just agree that for this first module, first unit, we're just gonna, I don't want to say wing it, but just work with what we have. But I'm really strongly encouraging you to have your readings for the next units, so that we can have this conversation, and the conversation can really help us enrich our understanding of the digital. All right, see you soon. Take care.